Now, so when I first, second funny story about this book is I entered it into Cole's had a novel writing contest, their first one in 2000, and the deal was you entered, you had a minimum 5,000 words to enter by January 10th. By January 10th, they would notify you if you got accepted for the semifinals. You had to have the finished book, which is around 50,000 words, by the end of the month. And at that time, I wasn't working, and I thought, yeah, that's no big deal. I'll crank this out because I had about 8,000 words written and a lot of the plot outlines and all that kind of stuff. So January 10th rolls around. I had just gone in for a job interview as an automotive technician, which I am, or was. And that afternoon, I get two phone calls. One is from that company. It says, "You're hired. We need you tomorrow." I said, "Great, I'm in." Half an hour later, I get a second phone call from Cole's contest. It says, "You've made the semifinals. We need your book by the end of the month." And I'm thinking, oh my God, now I'm working full time. I gotta crank this book out. So being the kind of determined person that doesn't give up, I had a friend who was living in Toronto at the time that was living out here in BC. She's just become an editor, and I texted her and said, "Jackie, can you help me? I can crank out this stuff like the rough drafts quickly, but I won't have time to edit everything and make it all back together." And she says, "Okay, I'll do it." She says, I need the training anyways. So every night I would send her the rough drafts of what I had written out. She would go through them, and the next day send them back to me in emails. And by the end of the month, I had enough to finish the contest. I got 48 out of 50 points, but the comments were fantastic novel. It just doesn't quite feel like it's finalized. Well, it wasn't, because I was just cranking this thing out as quick as I could. I've later, that was about 50,000 words. I've now got about 66,000 into this novel, and there you go.